Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Chef Cordell of Eating Well with Chef Cordell Consulting. You can always find me online at chefcordell.com as well as eatbetternow.org. All right, so we got a healthy dessert alert today. We are doing spicy dark chocolate blueberry clusters. So for a multitude of reasons, this is healthy and tasty. On the health end, we're using dark chocolate. Now, when you are using dark chocolate, which is of course healthier than any other chocolate, you want to go for a high percentage of cacao. So I would say 70% or higher. With the blueberries, they're great for your memory, amongst many other things. It also has a good amount of vitamin C and K, which is good for not only bone health, but heart health. Okay? But before we get started, let's take a look at the preparation and equipment needed. In our spicy dark chocolate blueberry clusters, we're going to use about 3/4 cups of dark chocolate. Now, I have mine in the form of chocolate chips, but if you want to use the actual dark chocolate bars, that's perfectly fine. We're going to use about a cup of blueberries, which you want to have rinsed and dried. You want to dry them off as much as you can because it helps the chocolate stick a little bit better. We're going to use about 2 teaspoons of coconut oil. And we're going to use about 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now, if you don't want to use the pepper to not make it spicy, that's perfectly fine. Okay? But I think with this recipe, it gives it a nice balance of slightly sweet and slightly spicy. Okay, our first step is to bring a pot of water or a double boiler to a boil. So I have my pot of water here and it's at a boil. What a double boiler is you put this on top here and insert, and what happens is versus the product actually touching the heat or the bottom of the pan rather where the heat is actually generated at, what it's doing is it's using steam to lightly heat something. So when you're dealing with chocolate, that's hugely important. You don't want to put that directly into a pan under heat. Okay, so we have that on top here. Now, if you do not have a double boiler, what you can do is grab a bowl that can go directly over the pot here, but not fit directly into it, because in the end, what we're looking to do is to heat the bottom surface. Okay, but we're going to use our double boiler here. So we'll give this a few seconds to get hot, and then we're going to start to add our ingredients. Okay, so we're going to add our chocolate. And we're also going to add our cayenne pepper, okay? Since I am using that. And you want to grab a wooden spatula here and just start to move it around, okay? So as you can see, it is melting, which is great, okay? So like I said, try to give it about 30 seconds or so before you put the ingredients in. And we're just going to stir this constantly until it starts to melt. Now that I've kept this stirred, our chocolate is now melted. So I'm going to add my coconut oil next to this and stir this up. Now when you're buying coconut oil, get unrefined coconut oil and try to get it organically as much as possible. All right. So now that we've stirred this in here, next we're going to add our blueberries, okay? We're going to just gently stir these. We don't want to burst them or anything like that, okay? Until they start to coat, which ours here have done relatively quickly. That oil definitely helps with that. So make sure that they are nice and coated. Now that they are coated, I am going to transfer these from here to a silicone tray, okay? Now, because I'm using this silicone tray, I don't have to put any nonstick spray in it. If you are using one that is not silicone, you want to put a little bit of nonstick spray in that as well to help them not stick. Also, you can use muffin tins, and that'll definitely help with that process. Now, you can transfer these to a parchment lined tray, or you can put them on a plate. But as I said, I'm going to use this part here, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to scoop these into my tray, okay? Now, if you feel like you need to use more chocolate with this, that's perfectly fine. Whatever works for you. I'm just going to transfer these over here as I'm doing right now. And after you get as many as you want into the tray, you're going to then put this into the refrigerator and let this cool off for about 30 minutes. I'm going to add a little bit more chocolate here to the sides to make sure I get some nice chocolatey pieces. Okay. Now this dessert too, keep in mind, this is actually really good for your mental health and for stress. So this is one of those times when you're using the good chocolate, you don't have to feel bad about eating it at all. And you mix it with a healthy ingredient like blueberries, and then you're talking about something. All right. So we're going to put this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes and let this cool off. And now that they've been cooling for about 30 to 45 minutes, look at what we got here. Our spicy dark chocolate blueberry clusters. As I mentioned, they're great for your mental health, full of antioxidants and so on. I really hope that you guys check this out. I'll see you next time. Peace.